So here's my take on television. Now, being a child of television, in that I've been on television,
you were on TV?
70, 80% of my life.
50 years.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yes. And but in terms of what's happening now, I mean, every day when and this happens to you guys, somebody will say to me, "Hey, have you seen this show? Hey, have you seen that show? Oh, you got to watch this. Oh, you got to watch." And I go, I don't have time to watch 485 television shows. Everybody knows every. I don't know how these people do it. Everybody watches every show on television, but me.
I'm gonna say a TV show, and if you've watched it, put a finger down. Gossip Girl, The Vampire Diaries, Grey's Anatomy, The Fosters, Riverdale, On My Block, All American, Outer Banks.
I can't sit down for 4 hours or 5 hours and watch. I don't want to do anything that feels good for 4 or 5 hours. You know, I don't want to sit there for a binge watch. You know, I'll watch Billions. I'll watch Young Sheldon, and I'll watch the Goldbergs. That's it. If you want to get me to watch anything else, I can't get invested in it. I just don't have the time.
According to a 2016 survey, over 90% of millennials and 88% of those in the Gen Z category have engaged in binge watching a TV series.
I can't watch hour shows like CSI and all. They're
I
all
can't
the
either.
same.
God bless them.
You know,
I can't watch
I'll
them.
watch comedies. You know, I mean, I'll watch Modern Family. I like, you know, and Young Sheldon is good, and Big Bang. You know, my attention span is so short. Like Curb Your Enthusiasm, I like that.
I like Curb,
but it's very hard for me to get into anything that's an hour.
Yeah, it's just I honestly, and this is gonna say, I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that because I'll watch television with my wife and kid, and if I'm watching a half hour or any sitcom, I know when the joke is coming and I know what the joke is, and I'll say it and I piss them both off.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time. And they say, "Why do you do that?" I say, "I'm sorry. I just having done it my whole life, I know when the joke is, and I know what it is because I know what the setup is."
Most of my TV career was hour shows, so I know. So I get bored because I understand the show, and they got to have the beginning, middle, and an end, and the three. You know, so I get very bored. Sitcoms I like, and my favorite is watching old half-hour shows from the 60s and 70s, like Dragnet.
Right.
I'm now watching Dragnet.
You like to see Old Town L.A.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they Adam 12. They drive around. I grew up in the San Fernando
But don't
Valley.
you find it very, very staid and slow?
But it's
and
calming.
plodding.
It relaxes me because
I'm with you. I watch that.
No, you could take a pill for that.
I know, but I don't take pills.
Okay.
You know, I'm like a health guy.
Got it. I don't
but
take pills.
you like Perry Mason.
I watch it. Perry Mason,
it was
Twilight
so simple.
Zone.
It was,
Twilight Zone, I'll watch forever.
That's what I watch before I go to bed.
I watch Highway Patrol from the 55 to 59. A Rifleman, one of my favorite. They're all half hours. Dragnet, those are all half hours. Highway Patrol. There's something so sweet about the people.
Innocent
and
time.
You see the way a grocery store looked in 1962 when they went inside. So I tend to, I want to escape, and so MeTV. They should pay me. So much.
But you go ahead.
Do you not like our show? I'm just guessing because the schedule of shooting a half an hour versus an hour. You don't like making an hour TV show, so you don't like watching it because you know what goes into it?
I'll watch Billions, and that's an hour, but it's the only...
But the work schedule of shooting it is totally different.
That's a pain in the ass.
How is it different from a half an hour?
Can I ask you, pour the damn drink? What are you drinking today?
Okay.
But what is that?
This is
Bourbon?
rum.
That's
rum. It's rum. When I pour little amounts, I think I'm
one of our
drinking
friends
less.
brought it.
What are you, a pirate? What the hell are you drinking rum?
A friend brought it. Chris brought it the other night, and I feel if I just take
Who drinks
little
rum?
Pirates and me.
Let me smell it.
It's actually not bad.
It actually was
rum.
good.
It's a good rum. Well, I'm a bourbon whiskey drinker.
I can't. I don't drink. I hardly ever drink. Please.
See, I pour little bits to make me think I'm not
You're not
drinking
drinking
as
at
much.
all.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were we? Oh no, our shows you film every day.
Yeah.
And you film for sometimes 15 hours a day. A sitcom, you go and rehearse for 3-4 hours. You go home and do it the next day. You go home, and then one day you'll have some cameras. You have cameras come in. That might be an 8-hour day.
Whoa,
right? Hey, and for me, it's a lot. And then shoot day, you're there from maybe 1 o'clock to maybe 9 o'clock.
See, I think that's why you don't like hours. Is you know what it takes to make them, so you don't want to. You don't even want to watch them.
I don't know if that's the case, but I just can't. I just can't get invested in it. Billions, because I love Boardwalk Empire.
Mm-hmm. I
thought
like
it was a
that.
great show.
I like that.
But I like the I like the world. The Billions. I like the world. I think it's really fascinating. But I can't watch all these shows that are on. It's amazing.
People say, "Have you seen this one and this one?" This one.
I know.
mean, you have Disney, Netflix. I would be literally at the TV 8 hours a day.
Exactly right.
And so it's very.
What's more amazing too is that you watch all this stuff, but then your DVR is totally filled up and you won't erase anything.
I just got
because I might watch that.
Yeah.
I might watch.
I might want to watch
right.
that.
I'm at 97%. I just got. You remember I had to get a new DVR about a month ago. I'm at 97%.
Right.
And,
well, you know what I'll do is I'll record certain scenes from a movie. Like I have the scene from Scent of a Woman where Pacino makes the big speech at the end.
How do you record
It's
sections?
because I'll have come on to it. I'll either be watching it, and then I'll change the channel real quick, and then I'll go back to
and
it,
record it,
and then record it, and then stop it.
Oh, I didn't think you.
And
Yes,
I
you can
do that, because that scene to me is brilliant, and I really enjoy it. But I'll do that with a lot of different movies.
I did that with Hollywoodland, or not Hollywoodland.
La La Land.
La La Land.
La La Land, great.
The end.
I did that with
the last 20 minutes of La La Land.
I did that with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, really?
I did the scene where Brad Pitt beats up Bruce Lee. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious to me. So I recorded that.
So
and
we all
the
know
ending.
We all know you have to go off the channel and go
right,
back
to
to
go
do
off
it.
and then
Isn't that
on.
amazing?
And the ending of that movie
people do
where
that?
Brad Pitt, who I think is phenomenal, by the way, one of my favorite actors, where he beats the crap out of everybody. Great.
I actually liked that movie. It was surprised me how much I liked it. Because I grew up in the 70s and drove around Hollywood.
I get it, but
I liked
honestly,
it.
and I like DiCaprio. I thought his part of the story was I just didn't.
I like
he's an
him
actor.
a lot, though.
I think he's great. I just watched The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal movie.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Tobey Maguire.
I don't think I've seen that one.
And DiCaprio. Shocked how much I like that movie because it's a great movie. But back to television. I guess I understand what you're saying, Mark. The things that you watched as a kid, like if I Dream a Genie comes on,
Yeah.
I watch it, because I love that show. Hogan's Heroes, I'll watch Hogan's Heroes.
You know, Schultz, the trouble with you is you're afraid to say anything you think. Filled with fear, frightened to express any kind of opinion.
Oh, no, Herr Commandant. I talk about you all the time when you are not around.
Shut up and drive.
But do you think, all right, let me ask you this question. Do you think that, so those shows are 50 years old, give or take,
Yeah.
and they bring us such great memories. Do you think 50 years from now, will there be shows like that those people who are now in our age go, boy, do you remember watching
Great question.
Succession?
Yeah. Okay.
And I think because there's so many shows and such few audience for each one, there won't be that attachment anymore.
I think it will be. I mean, I'm saying I think there are people who look at shows in
Friends
the 80s.
and Seinfeld. Cheers.
Those are
But
good
I mean,
shows,
think about, those shows. Will there be shows
I mean,
like it's musically too?
You know what? I look at shows like the A-Team, and I wrote a lot of A-Teams, and I look at it now as nostalgia.
Because you worked on it.
Well, yes, but I'm saying I look at it differently now than when I looked at it.
But wait,
in
but
the
Mark,
80s.
but now but I'm still talking about the 80s because there was only 3 or 4 networks. There wasn't TiVo or DVR.
Yeah.
You didn't have cable. You had cable, but there was very limited stuff on there. You had Z Channel in the 70s, so there wasn't
could
this
see naked people.
this giant amount of television shows that people watch and binge watch, And I just don't know if 50 years from now they'll
Well,
have the same fond memories of
Here's
them.
what I'm saying. I watched The Rifleman with my dad as a kid in the early
But you're
60s.
making my point.
No, and I like it. So I think people who watched shows in the 80s as kids.
But you can't. You
50 years.
You can't. You got to take the 80s. I'm talking about now. The
Oh,
80s is still.
I think they will still be
Name a
as
show.
nostalgic.
Name a show.
Modern Family, or Big Bang. I think 50
okay.
years from now,
No, I.
it will
good
have
point.
nostalgia. They'll go, oh, look at the way the house looked. Look at the clothes. Look, I
And
don't
when
know.
we're all flying around in our cars and we'll say,
Yeah,
"Look at these
jets and
morons." that
cars,
drive-" right.
yes, and
you
we're-
know what? You just made a great point. Okay.
Well, you know, it was funny to me when my son went to school in Ohio. He used to visit my parents, and my dad would watch Bonanza. And so I have my father, who's a generation older than me, and my son watching Bonanza. So my son comes back, and I'm watching Bonanza with my son, which I never watched.
Right.
But I'm watching it because he's become a fan of it. So I was thinking it's funny to watch how he was exposed to this, and it's carrying on anew.
Well, I would go to my parents' house, and my father was where he died, watching Gunsmoke.
Really?
Loved Gunsmoke.
No, I meant Gunsmoke. I
Okay.
didn't mean Bonanza.
Yeah,
You're right.
I know.
It was
Yeah,
Gunsmoke.
Anyway, I'd go by my dad's house, and he'd be watching Gunsmoke, and for him, I guess that was going back in time
Yes.
and reliving some innocent. What was that? Was the Gunsmoke 50s and
It
60s?
started in the 50s. I think the half hours, late 50s, and it went in through the 60s and 70s. Or maybe it was early 60s. But I'm pretty sure it was probably early 60s.
But okay, so we're talking, and I think we touched on it. The difference today is that a hit show will have 800,000 people watching, right?
Right.
In the 80s, it was 30 million,
30
Wow.
million.
25 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
You'd get canceled.
There are less choices,
You'd
yeah.
get canceled
Yeah.
at 19
right,
million.
there weren't that many choices, right? So the shows that are on, I don't think they might be great, and I don't think, and I'm pleased that don't take this wrong. I don't think they're as popular as the A-Team. I mean, the A-Team was the show that killed Happy Days. So,
By the way, Happy Days.
And you
killed
guys are
Sheriff,
friends.
Sheriff Lobo, which was a
okay,
show
but
I
we
was
killed
on.
a lot of shows,
Yeah.
and the A-Team killed a lot of shows.
Yeah.
But so the Squid Game. Now that's a global
I haven't
thing.
seen it yet.
But
I've
that's a
seen the
global thing. That because
I
of
gotta look
internet,
at
it's a billion people watch it, which we didn't have
That's
back
because
then.
of streaming.
I just said internet.
You know, I think it's the rum. I think the rum has affected me.
Yo
I'm
ho
not-
ho ho, a
right, I'm
pirate's
going back
life
to
for
red
me.
wine.
I get it.
Somehow the rum just I'm done.
Erases your
Okay.
memory.
Yeah.
But again, I can't get into all. When was the last time you watched the Brady Bunch?
If I come across
Saturday
it,
morning it plays. I probably 6 weeks ago I saw.
You know what?
one
Other
of
than
them.
the set being a $15 set,
But I love that.
it was great.
It was so.
It was great.
Corny. It was so
It didn't
corny.
matter. It was sweet. It was fun.
And I actually got into the stories.
I
There was
know.
one I get a little emotional.
No. Okay. Well, but the other show that my kid wanted to watch was the Addams Family because she likes
the original.
She likes the movies, the new ones.
I love it.
What does she think?
The Addams Family. She enjoys it. She doesn't quite get the humor of all of it
No, I think it's
because of the
hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
And I love Carolyn Jones. Yeah. Is that her name? Jones?
No.
Yeah, Carol
Yes.
Jones,
Yeah.
of course.
Yvonne DiCarlo was Lily Munster.
Yeah.
I get them confused. Both beautiful women. But it was Lurch and It and Thing.
Wednesday, who did
Oh
her
yeah,
dance.
I mean, it's just great. And then the other show, and then my daughter and I got into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
She likes it.
Loves it.
I used to watch it with my daughter.
Well,
She was-
your daughter's age, I loved it. I watched it with my dad.
And okay, favorite Twilight Zone.
Oh, To Serve Man is one of
Okay.
them.
Probably when Burgess Meredith breaks his glasses.
Oh yeah, the bank
Yeah.
vault. Yes, that's a great one.
Great.
Billy
Ogre.
Mummy,
the
where
corn.
he completely controlled this
The
little
town,
town.
yeah.
What was it? Yeah.
I like the one where the old lady was receiving phone calls.
Oh yeah.
and it was her dead husband.
Yeah.
The power of
Yeah.
the telephone line went down.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the one where the astronauts landed on this planet and they were little
Yeah, that's
tiny
right.
people
Yeah.
and made him build a
Yeah,
statue
yeah.
and he stamped on them
You know what my kid's favorite one is, and it's Talkie Tina is great.
The
That
Telly
was good.
Savalas.
Telly
Savalas.
Savalas. My kid loves the one, and I think it's one of the better ones.
What?
It's with the mannequins.
Oh yeah, when they get a month to go
you
live.
mean in the Christmas box?
no, they get to live.
That's the
the Christmas.
The mannequins. They get a month off every year. They become human.
Yeah.
Oh, is that with the girl?
Anne
with the,
Francis,
Yeah, okay.
Honey West. It was Honey West.
Honey West, but I did like the one with the soldier, the clown. They were in the
They were-
cylinder.
they were in the
were trying
Christmas
to
thing.
Get up.
They were
and
dolls.
it was a dolls and I got I get
It was
chills thinking
fantastic. I
about
mean,
it.
do you think about that
I get
show?
chills about everything.
That show was great. I mean, some of them were.
But
some of them were okay.
It's interesting now that you told me your daughter likes it, then I know it holds up. See, I thought maybe it was just the time, the 60s.
No.
She gets so, it would still work today.
Oh yeah, she just floored by the mannequins, and this is a couple of years ago.
And they were so, but they were half hours. Clean,
Yep, there
simple.
were hours.
There was a season of hours, and they don't
Was that with
usually,
Robert Duvall in the Dollhouse? Was that an hour?
I don't know,
Robert Redford's in it too.
but
That's right.
but they
When he goes down
you
into
remember,
the old
you
lady
remember
has
Agnes
to come out
Moorehead
of the.
with
Yes,
the
yes,
spaceship?
yes.
That was filmed, I believe, as an hour, and in the syndication they've cut the hours
you're
to
right.
half hours, I believe. But the hours were too much. They were simple, clean, with a twist. I
Who did
can't
Robert?
watch
What
anything
did
over
Robert
that.
Redford play?
They were tearing down.
a cop.
They were tearing down an old apartment building, and a woman lived in
Below.
the basement.
What did he play?
Satan.
Death.
Death. That's right. It was death.
Oh, the
Yeah.
one where they locked the devil up.
Oh, that one's. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then he walks out.
Oh,
and
my
he talks
God.
the guy into letting him out.
I'm
taking
sorry,
him-
that's my favorite.
Yes, that's
That's
one of
my
my
favorite.
No changing. You can't change.
That one was scary.
That would, and he kept walking.
Oh.
And then he said after he got out, there was World War II, there was this, there was that.
Brilliant.
That was-
Absolutely brilliant.
Rod Serling wrote the best ones. He was
Rod
a-
Serling wrote Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Not sure if you
The
know
movie. The
Didn't
movie
you play
from,
ping pong on his table at his house?
that. No, I played paddleball on his tennis court.
And,
Oh, all right.
And he died, I believe, 50 years old. He had what's it? What kids get it and it weakens your heart? Not-
Scarlet fever, rheumatic fever.
Rheumatic fever. He always had a weak heart, but he died like at 50, and he had such a body of work. You imagine how young that was?
Could you imagine that show when it was on for the first time in the 50s or early 60s? Imagine.
I think
It
it's
must
like
have
60.
been frightening. It was totally different. Now it's
Well, the girl who falls in the wall.
great.
That's
yeah.
a great one.
But now now it seems nostalgic and fun. Not really all that scary, although the devil one is still pretty scary.
Yeah, that's
the devil one is scary. But anyway, so what have we concluded that
TV was better then than now.
You know what?
Is that-
What I
is
like
that what
about
You can't ever say that because I think
No.
the TV now people will be saying was better 50 years from now than
Probably.
it is then. I think people like nostalgia. You know what it is? It reminds them of a better, happier time.
I agree.
And that's what it is. And maybe
He's drinking. You can't get a word in. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I like the
and I'm
fact-
going to start crying in a minute.
the reason this isn't laziness.
He's not drunk. He's acting.
I like passive entertainment pushed at me, so I want to watch television.
that
I don't
mean?
want
What
to.
the-
I don't want to pick what I want to watch. I just want to turn it on and find something, and I feel like it's a different process.
That's because we're old.
I know.
George.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I watch old shows, because I could have passive entertainment pushed at me. I don't need to go. I don't have to put effort into.
That's a great point.
finding.
Oh, that's a very good point because you know these new things that are continuations. I like a beginning, middle, and an end. I like a series to end.
You don't like a cereal.
I don't like a series, but see, I wrote nothing but standalone.
Right,
shows.
but that's why I like
So-
Billions, because it is a continuing story.
See, like Modern Family is one of my. I really like that. I really got into that.
Funny.
But they tell 3 complete stories, and it's a serial in the sense that it's the same family
Okay.
and they're growing up. But
Best sitcom ever.
okay, that's a hard one.
The one that I laughed the most at was probably Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the one honestly, Modern Family and maybe 2.5 Men.
Okay.
That comes to mind.
All right. Odd Couple.
Huh.
The original from the 70s.
Love it.
You know, I haven't seen one in
It's
a long
great.
time. Does it hold up?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but to me, that's like number one. I just.
You know what I love? I love the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I did love that. Oh, you did?
I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was great.
Really?
Ted Baxter was great.
No, I thought
Lou Grant was great.
No, Leanne,
No,
Betty White.
Yes, Phyllis was great.
I really Mary Tyler Moore is what I
Okay,
like.
But
Best-
when you say
in the
best, so
70s.
like we're answering funniest, but like when shows are like impact culture, like for me, I'm not saying this because you're here, but Happy Days, Marion was everybody's mother. And that, I mean,
but it's a different time, George.
Right.
Oh, stop kissing his ass.
No, but I'm like that had like a cultural impact. The other shows haven't.
Well, there was a
reached.
different time too. I mean, Modern Family is now, so they can be edgy and stuff. I tend to like edgy stuff, but
I think Young Sheldon is one. It's
which I've
probably
only caught a couple. You keep telling me I need
it's
to watch
the best
it.
for me. The best
I know,
half
you
hour on
love that
television.
show.
Really?
It's just Chuck Lorre, whom I gave his start.
In Charles
in Charge.
That's right. He wrote a spec
He wrote a
script.
spec script.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until he was driving by my house and in scenery he stopped the car and I went, hey, and he goes, hey, Scott Chuck, and we talked for a minute. He said, I got your start on Charles. I got my start on Charles.
Wow.
I went,
He
oh
put
my
that
God.
on one of his things.
I know he did.
And you told me you read the script and liked it, and that's why they
Yes,
did it.
He put it in a
they-
documentary, or where did he? What were you referring?
No,
to?
he put it on his card.
credit
at the
card.
End,
Oh, really?
Credit card. On his credit.
He
on
does.
his
He
credit.
does a what's it called? A Chuck Lorre.
Oh, that's
Right.
right. That's right.
But it is so well written, and I just love it. I just love the show. So again, the moral of the story. Oh, best 1 hour.
A-Team. No, I'm joking. It's hard to say. Shoot, that's interesting.
How about this? Forget it's hard. How about the 1 hour show that first comes to your mind? Any 1 hour show ever?
Is a Star Trek a 1 hour?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Star Trek.
Oh, the originals?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm trying to think. I mean, they all had like Rifleman half hour. I'm trying to think. Hour shows.
The one that comes to my mind immediately is the $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah.
As a
you know
kid,
what?
I loved
The
it.
funny thing is, I was not into the hour shows that much. Isn't that funny? And I ended up doing them. But
Isn't
as
that
a
what you
kid,
spent your life working on?
I 16 years I wrote, Fall Guy, A-Team,
Anyway.
Hunter.
All right, so old television is great. New television is great.
All television.
All
is great.
television, not all.
Well,
That's our take.
See up my nose with the